Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are not going to be discussing the Polish Empire in Poland. We are going to be discussing what every country thinks of Poland and what countries' updates have done today. Now, countries in and out are, things have changed all around this map, and I don't know what would I didn't know, I didn't update it because it was boring. So let's actually just update it now. Of course, we would always, and it's always explained that Korea has unite under South Korean rule because China got smacked. And when I mean smacked, I mean smacked. Yeah, they got pretty fucked up. And you can just guess what happened at this point. So yeah, let's just not bother. Also, India gets Kashmir. And the Ottomans, version of them isn't that good, considering how they're about to collapse. And when I mean collapse, I mean they're about to fucking die. And how I mean die, I mean like another war with like Saudi Arabia or Israel or something. They're done. And yeah. We then see the nation of the Ottoman Empire decide, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we declared war on Austria? Or not Austria. Fucking not Austria, what? What do I mean, Austria? They join on this side, which of course brings Israel into the war, which of course brings Iran into the war, which brings Yemen into the war. This does bring Poland and Egypt into the war, because they're allies and basically they have an alliance against them. Greece refrains on joining because they don't want to join. So, yeah, we're just going to see the collapse, the full-on collapse. There isn't going to be any more resets or anything. A full collapse of the Ottoman Empire. I mean, sure, they can make some push in, but, like, that's not going to go well. And I mean not going to go well. I mean, sure, they push into Israel. Sure, they push into Israel. And they're making a push through Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is mostly trying to push into Yemen with a lot of success. I mean a lot of success. I mean they take like all the Red Sea coast, then they start pushing in through here, taking in some more coast. We then have Iran decide, hey, we want our borders back, and so we're gonna take them back. So they take basically all their land. Then the Ottomans decide, that's not good. So they decide to ramp up their invasion, and they stop at the Suez. They stop at the is this the Sinai Peninsula? I don't think this is the Sinai Peninsula, but if I'm correct, then just don't bully me if I'm not correct, okay? I think it's the Sinai Peninsula though. And then we have Yemen pushing back, but at a cost of we then have a cost of that being taken back, and then that's not good because Israel is fully liberated and ready to fight. I mean ready to fight, I mean, oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, Iran and Saudi Arabia are working together for once. For one major goal, just to take out the Ottoman. Now they're pushing into mainland Turkey, which isn't gonna go very well, considering how they are retreating, and they completely retreat out of all of this area to give, fight back. Fight back and just make a defensive, which goes pretty well for around a couple of weeks when they start pushing around the coast again. So you're like, that's not good. They begin pushing towards Istanbul or Constantinople, depending on how you say it, and boom, it is captured. Yeah. After this, we then have Turkey just. They're like, we don't want to go, and then they just go. They die. They're dead now. They're dead. Now, I know I didn't mention on stream or on video, but that this war has ended. And when I mean ended, let me just show the peace treaty real quick. And here are the borders. Now, there are some pretty familiar looking borders here, and that's that Syria, Iraq, they are recreated. Turkey is restored back to its, pre-Ottoman imperialism borders. Although they do have some lands here, and that's because I didn't know who to give them to, because Hungary didn't do anything, and I'm not going to give them to Greece. Even though I did give some land to Greece, but they kind of meh. Israel got land, and Iraq was restored but lost land because Saudi Arabia exists, or just Arabia. Iran was restored, and the whole Arabian Peninsula is united once again. Or once again, I don't know if once again or just once now. So now, there's a choice to make. Turkey can either recognize these claims as Turkey can either, accept this treaty and, force everything. Or they can, no, we're taking Syria, at least. Yeah, and they want to go to war with them again, but they don't at the same time. They don't want to. Meanwhile, at the same time, Poland is making its most. Poland has been a superpower long enough, and all the major powers decide, hey, wouldn't it be nice if we just declared war on them? So this is not going to be the last episode, because this will be a long episode if I do that. So that'll be basically the last episode. Is the entire major world powers declaring war on the entire thing. But I'm not too sure yet, so we're just going to have some proxy wars, or just regular wars. France decides, hey, we're going to declare war on Spain. Which, yeah, Spain! Which Spain is going to get clapped by the French army. Now, France already made an empire, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy that France already made an empire, but they want to make another one. They're like, hey, we have more empires, we want to make more. So they decide, hey, just let us invade you. Just let us take some land. We just want some land. We don't even want reparations, we just want land. Spain tells them to go to fucking hell. And France responds to that by going down to Gibraltar and wrecking a bunch of ships. And making a landing in southern Spain. Now, the reason why they did this instead of them, going through here is because mountains. Also make a landing on these islands here, considering how they're mostly undefended. And then begin trying to get naval superiority over the Spanish coast. Which they do pretty easily, considering how, they have some coast, Spain now seeing, Barcelona being, rebelled. Which France now sends troops to, help them. And with a front, and with stuff already established, they decide, hey, we can actually invade this now. So they begin a conquest of Spain. Which that goes pretty well. But, yeah, this might go wrong for the French. It's not going to, though. Now, you may be like, why did the United Kingdom stay the same the entire time? Why didn't Scotland do stuff? Because I don't care. And then to go through the thing that is Spain, they take Madrid, which basically causes an entire panic in the country. The entirety of Galicia rebels. We then see this front be completely obliterated, and Spain also, too, gets obliterated. Now, if you haven't figured out what France is doing yet, they are basically trying to restore Roman Empire, possibly. They're not, I'm gonna put them in the color of orange, and yeah, I'm gonna put all of their land in the color of orange. So they have that land, that land, that land, that land, and these two islands here. But they don't, but they are trying to take all the Mediterranean. Now, this kind of might be easy since Poland doesn't border the Mediterranean. So France's conquest begins even more. They decide, hey, it would be really nice. They hold a referendum in Italy, and Naples say, hey, do you want to become French? And they say, sure thing, we'll become French. But the vote was definitely rigged. The Vatican City and San Marino, they survive. Yeah, they survive. Naples also has a rigged vote, rigged referendum. Venice also has a rigged referendum to join France. And the people aren't that happy anymore that France is, doing that. But they can't do anything. But this comes to a halt as Hungary at this point is stronger than France. Not much stronger, but stronger. So they decided to look south towards Africa. And, France did this once, they can do it again. Now, they did this, Poland and France don't border each other. So this is actually really good. But they are taking all of this. They're declaring war on all of this. Which, yeah, fair enough. But France, compared to these guys, is just comparing an ant to a lion. So they immediately cross the Strait of Gibraltar into Morocco, while landing from Tunisia and Sardinia, or landing from Sicily and that. While landing from here takes out Algeria, and Algeria's coast quickly falls, followed by most of Tunisia, followed by Morocco. We're gonna ignore most geography at this point, so And after pushing down the coast a lot more, we decide that Morocco, they're not doing too well. They're not doing too well. We have a tiny more push into there. And then for Libya, Libya puts up a strong defense, but, doesn't do much, as, they're hopeless. They will lose, because Morocco is dead, and Algeria soon follows in being dead. Tunisia did the same a long time ago. So, yeah, that's not good, as they're being pushed in. And they're like, fine, just don't take our coast. But they're like, no, we take your coast anyway, ha ha ha. And they meet up at the border of Egypt. Which, after taking the coast, Libya unconditionally surrenders to France. And just like that, the coast of them is gone. Now, France is bigger than Poland at this point. I'm pretty sure they might be bigger than Poland at this point. So, yeah. Which basically stirs up some tension between the two, but neither of them can really do anything about it because they can't really, invade. They need to go through Austria or through Germany. So, yeah, this is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed.